Arthur's Funny Money by Lillian Hoban. It was Saturday morning. Violet was counting numbers on her fingers. Arthur was counting the money in his piggy bank. He counted $3.78. Arthur, said Violet, do you know numbers? Yes, I do, said Arthur. I am working with numbers right now. Well, said Violet, if I have 5 peas and you take 3 and give me back 2, how many peas will I have? All of them, said Arthur. I don't like peas, so I wouldn't take any. I know you don't like peas, said Violet, but I'm trying to do a number problem. Will you help me? I have my own number problem, said Arthur. He turned his piggy bank upside down and shook it, but no more money came out. I don't have $5 to buy a t-shirt and a matching cap, said Arthur. Everyone on the Frisbee team has to buy them. They have far out Frisbees printed on them in blue, and they light up in the dark. Wilma's big sister is running errands to make money, said Violet. She wants to buy a new catcher's mitt. I don't like running errands, said Arthur. You could wash cars, said Violet. The junior high kids always wash cars to raise money. That's what they are doing this afternoon. Well, if they are washing cars, then I can't, said Arthur. There would be too many of us in the car wash business. I know, said Violet. You could wash bikes. Lots of kids would pay to have their bikes washed. Great, said Arthur. I could get the rust off the wheels and I can shine up the frames and I could make lots of money. That's no fair, said Violet. I told you about the bike wash, but you never told me about the peas. I will, said Arthur, but first help me set up business. Violet went into the kitchen. She got a pail and a brush. She got a cloth and a sponge. Then she took them to the back steps. Arthur was making a sign. It said, "Bikes washed, good as 25 cents." "There is no soap or Brillo," said Violet. "We have to buy some." Arthur put his money in a bag and they went to the store. Arthur bought a box of soap for 53 cents and a box of Brillo for 27 cents. "I hope lots of kids want their bikes washed," said Violet. When they got home, Norman was waiting with his little brother and their dog Bubbles. "How much is it for a tricycle?" asked Norman's little brother. "The same as for a bike," said Arthur. "But a trike is only half as big as a bike," said Norman. "You should charge half as much." "Well," said Arthur, "it's half as big, but it has more wheels." "Tell you what," said Norman, "I will give you 38 cents for my bike and his trike. But that's for a deal? How's that for a deal?" Arthur thought about it. He opened the box of soap. He filled the pail with water. Then he counted on his fingers and thought some more. Look what Bubbles is doing, said Norman's little brother. Bubbles was eating the soap out of the box, and he was drinking water out of the pail. That's why we call him Bubbles, said Norman. He ate most of my soap, yelled Arthur. You better pay me back. I will give you 42 cents for washing the bike and the trike, and Norman said Norman quickly. You'll be able to buy lots more soap. I don't want to buy more soap, said Arthur. I want to buy a Frisbee t-shirt and a matching cap. Bubbles is eating Brillo for dessert, said Violet. Get the dog out of here, shouted Arthur. He's spoiling my business. You have to advertise if you want business, said Norman. Tell you what I'll do for you. You wash my bike and put a sign on it saying Arthur washed me. I will ride all over town and get you lots of business. Me too, said Norman's brother. It won't cost you anything, said Norman. You'll make lots of money. So Arthur washed the bike and the trike. He got the rust off the wheels and he shined up the frames. Then he made 2 signs, put them on each of them. Okay, said Norman, we're ready to ride. He gave Arthur 42 cents and he and his little brother rode off. Arthur put the 42 cents in the bag and with the rest of his money. You hold the money for me, he said to Violet, and write down every time I get some. When it gets to 5.25, I'm quitting. What's the extra 25 cents for? Asked Violet. For licorice twist, said Arthur. I just love licorice twist. He gave Violet some paper and a pencil. Now, said Arthur, write down $3.78. That's how much I had to start under the right, take away 53 cents and take away 27 cents. That is for soap and Brillo. Arthur wrote down all the numbers. Violet wrote down all the numbers. Now I'm just going to